What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be reacting to a new video about the David situation and Celeste. There's a new update apparently. So there's some new evidence. So yeah, bro, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share, and fuck with your boy. And let's get into this, bro. It's crazy that he's still free. I can't lie.
There's only so many times I could say this David situation just keeps getting worse. I feel like with this new update, the only thing left to say is why is this man not in jail yet? Why is LAPD dragging their feet? How do we not have enough yet to lock David up? I feel like at this point it's pretty clear, like who killed Celeste. It's pretty clear what the plans was for Celeste.
DA, clearly she thinks David did this, but there were more than one or more than two people who had some knowledge of it. A circle around David knew various things. The DA is closing in on somebody, and I believe two people who are very close to David, the singer who is a suspect in the murder of Celeste Rivas.
Yeah, I have no hope whatsoever in this investigation. We've been hearing that DA is on his tail since about week 2. And what's happened since week 2? David has been around the world. David has been chilling. David has managed to turn over all his properties to his mother names. David has had ample time to prepare his defense. So we have no faith in this whatsoever. LAPD is a freaking joke. Now, there's an update on this case. Now, the update itself just makes me realize why I don't have no faith in LAPD whatsoever. Because this update, if it was anywhere else, is pretty damaging and will get that person in cuffs. But because it's LAPD and they're incompetent nincompoops, nothing is going to happen to David whatsoever. The private investigator, Steve, that was hired by the house owner, he let us know a while ago that when he was initially hired, he was hired after LAPD did their raid, and he showed up to the house and he found a treasure trove of information and evidence that LAPD didn't take with them when they conducted their search warrant. And they never came back to take these items away, even though they knew these items were there. They found it during their raids. They quote unquote took pictures of it, but they never seized it into evidence whatsoever, and he couldn't understand why. Well, it looks like we finally figured out what that was and what the treasure trove of evidence is. And it didn't come from LAPD or the
What it
DA. It came
was.
from the private investigator who spitefully released it because LAPD, instead of going after David, they've been going after him. They've been subpoenaing him. They've been trying to hold him in contempt of court. They've been trying to jail him and arrest him because he's been updating the public on information. They even did the same thing to the medical examiner office, where their job is to provide transparency to the public. They have put a muzzle on a medical examiner office. Now they're going after the private investigator who's been trying to help get David locked up. So he just said, F.
Bro, like law enforcement, bro. I didn't even know it was even like that in America, bro. I thought like when you did some shit, nigga, the cops were on your ass, nigga. The movie's been lying to me, bro. I thought fucking Michael Larry was gonna be on your ass knocking at the door, nigga. Hey, let's go and let's try it. Like, bro, South Africa, bro. It's the same shit, bro. Shit doesn't get solved, bro. Shit doesn't get solved, bro. They don't, bro. Niggas are lazy, bro. Cops are lazy. I don't know what's going on. I didn't know it was like that in America, but I feel like they have a better law enforcement than South Africa, even though there's a lot of shit going on with their law enforcement as well, racism aside and stuff like that. But I think it's mostly racism. But hey, bro, they're not doing their fucking job about this David situation.
All right, if y'all gonna come after me, I'm gonna release the information. So we finally know exactly what LAPD didn't feel like was necessary to take. And we do know a search warrant, you can only take certain things, but they still have the option to go ahead and get another search warrant and come back and get, pretty damning evidence from my perspective in this David case. In a Twitter post, Steve writes, although my words have been misquoted by some, what I actually said about certain items found at the Doheny address was that they were items you would expect to find on a farm rather than a home in the Hollywood Hills. Doheny address, if you guys are not familiar, that's the address that the Tesla was found at. Also, David's primary residence in LA. One of those items was a burn cage incinerator. Why was a burn cage at a private residence? Well, that's the question we're all wondering. So, LAPD did a raid or did like a search warrant of the home. They found a burn cage in a home where a dead body was found in a Tesla outside. And they thought, this is not important. Let's forget about this. All right. And they never took it into evidence whatsoever.
So this nigga was finna
So one
incinerate her
of those
body.
items that were found was a burn cage incinerator advertised to burn at 1600 degrees. Human cremations are typically performed at approximately 1400 degrees. An incinerator is not legal to use within city limits and serves no legitimate purpose at a residential property in the Hollywood Hills. Some will argue that this item was intended as a prop for a music video. Cut it out, bruh. Cut
Man.
it out, man. Those evil, sick, maniacal Fs were planning to cremate this little girl's body, bruh. Yeah, they were just waiting for the right time to take that body out, cremate it, and get it out of here, bruh. And to me, that was gonna be the last stage of this murder cover-up. Because once you cremate the body, like
Yeah, there's not really much.
like she's already been missing for like a year. Parents don't really seem too concerned about locating her. You cremate the body, man, bro. You good, because it don't really feel like they really have any messages that are incriminating. It don't really feel like they have any text calls, nothing at all. And the police got the body, and they still can't piece together this murder mystery. If you would have cremated her, it would have been over with, bro. All right, it's done.
There would have been no evidence, bro.
Now, yeah, some will argue this item was intended as a prop for a video. If that were the case, it raises several obvious questions. Why do a 55-pound burn cage be delivered to a private residence instead of directly to a prop designer or production house? Why would it be ordered before departing on an extended world tour? And why was it never used in any video production? It is also important to note that there were additional items present that could be used in conjunction with the burn cage. What those items were, well, we would never know. That's because LAPD has a muzzle on Steve. To be very clear, this burn cage was not used. It was still new and in the box. However, given the Celeste Hernandez remains were ultimately found in a Tesla trunk, the presence of an incinerator at the same residence associated with the vehicle necessarily raises questions about intent. The burn cage was not taken during the search warrant, and because it was not used, it appears it's not of importance to any possible criminal investigation. But we think it's important context, even if not criminal. The burn cage and other related items were delivered to the residence under a false name. Although, come on, bro. Come on.
Under a false name?
Come on. The burn cage was delivered under a false name, so there's no ties to David. They found it, man, cut it out, bro. Although the deliveries were accepted at the property, attached is a photograph. He does show the burn cage in the box. And apparently this right here is what it would look like. The Law and Crime YouTube channel did an interview with a detective and a law enforcement instructor, whatever that means. And even he seems pretty bewildered and confused as to why the burn cage was not an interest to LAPD. He would explain that even though the search warrant was not for the burn cage and it was very specific, they could have very easily went back and got a piggyback warrant the same day and come back and get the burn cage. So them choosing not to get the burn cage after about 3 months is kind of, confusing and incompetent.
I cannot think of a legitimate, innocent reason why a burn cage would be received at a private residence.
I don't think anybody can, Matthew, but LAPD.
Why it would be
This
ordered.
nigga's only saying this because you're confronting him about this and you're interviewing him. This is the only reason why he's like, oh shit, yeah, okay, there's a burn cage. We should have said that too. Hey, Steven, get a warrant for the burn cage. No, he's only doing this because you're fucking interviewing him. That's the only reason why. He's only doing this because fucking media and shit, bro. It's the only reason, bro. Nobody came with him about this and were asking these questions. They would have been
I also, frankly,
well, let's
can't
actually just start
understand.
there. Keep your thought.
Okay.
The only thing I would say is about a false name. If he's a celebrity,
under
he
a
doesn't want
false
people
fucking
knowing his
name, by the way.
Thoughts?
Fair enough, but if he's got a bunch of people that he's working with because he intends to use this as part of a concert tour, as part of a video, he's got a whole staff of people that can order something for him. I don't understand why he would need to do it under an assumed name. But your point is well taken. That could be an innocent explanation. But again, to Steve's points, if that is indeed the intent for this item, why is it delivered to a private residence? Why is it not with them on tour? Why is it not taken to some location to be used for some kind of a video? That said, I also can't think of a good reason why LAPD didn't seize this item. I mean, if you're conducting an
Why?
investigation into a body found in the trunk of a car, one of your working theories has got to be that this body was placed there in order to move it from the scene where the death occurred and then transport it to some third location to conceal it or dispose of it.
Isn't there like two crimes being investigated at the same time? One, the crime of murder or homicide, because they're now coming around to the idea that Celeste was murdered, that she didn't, just overdosed and moved herself to the trunk of a freaking Tesla. But there's also, if murder didn't happen here, there's also abuse of a corpse, desecration of human remains. Those are other crimes that are being investigated. And you would probably be closer to that once you find out who ordered the burn cage, because the person who ordered the burn cage is more than likely the person who either David, or two, they're helping David. And if they're helping David, then they were probably the person who moved the corpse, who abused the corpse, who desecrated the human remains. And you could bring them in on some charges and make them turn against David. But if you have no interest in the burn cage, if you have no interest in who would want to order that burn cage or who ordered that burn cage, since it wasn't ordered in David's name, you can find out who did that fake name belong to, who ordered it, why did they order it. Those are things that I think you would want to bring the birdcage and have it into evidence, right? Because let's just say they take a picture. Again, I'm not a lawyer here, people, but they take a picture and they're not in possession of the actual burn cage. Couldn't, they just say, hey, that's a prop. Hey, like what was inside the burn cage was not the actual burn cage. It was
That
something,
is not a prop,
right?
though.
Like if you don't have an actual picture of the actual burn cage or in possession of it,
Like,
it's
nigga,
just absurd
some
and
shit,
disincentive.
bro.
And
It's
I
just
would think that they'll be
bullshit, bro.
trying to keep in possession whatever evidence they have, especially when you take into consideration David and his friends are actively going out of their way to conceal and hide information and removing all digital traces as we speak. Key example of this is with this dude here called Neil the Asian. This is one of like David homies. He been scrubbing his social media, bruh. He done scrubbed everything. If you go to his social media, there are huge gaps of posts that he has taken down, things that he has removed. And you want to ask yourself why. Like, if you have nothing to hide,
Cause
why
he's
are you
covering
taking
up for
certain things
fucking
down?
David, man.
And then come to find out,
Hey,
if you
him and his friends need to be what incarcerated, nigga. Is that the word? If it is, then it is, nigga. Him and his friends, cause this is what alias, not an alias, bro. Nigga, accomplice, yeah, something like that, bro. Accessories to a crime. They helping this nigga, bro. They're concealing what he's doing, bro, or what he did. Not doing what he did. Unfortunately, bro. They also need to be we're gonna get David and we're getting you niggas as well. That's what it needs to be.
like go through his page, well, these are no longer there, I believe, but you see him, bro. He's posing and he's partying with Celeste. Neo is a grown man. Celeste in this picture, I believe, was about what, 13 years old. So he's chilling and having a good old time with Celeste. He's partying with Celeste, and it's like, yo, like, why are you guys hanging out with a 13-year-old? Where is her parents? Now, if this is a man who was with David often on a routine basis, almost daily, one of David right hand mans, who was around Celeste when David was very careful on who he brought Celeste around, very careful on being seen with Celeste, especially towards the latter part of her life, then bro, this man like removing things from his social media, hiding things, trying to conceal things, that's very important, right? And if these people are going out of their way to hide certain things, oh, he was like really cool with Celeste as well, really cool, right? So if he's going out of his way to hide certain things and to conceal certain things, then shouldn't y'all also be like as proactive as them into revealing or uncovering certain things, or trying to hold and be like, listen, I feel like, yo, they should be like hoarding evidence at this point, bruh. Whatever could be seen as evidence, you hoard it, bruh. because you don't know what's important and what's not, especially when they're being proactive. So this dweeb came back on Instagram to explain why he's been removing things from his Instagram and moving hella shady and hella suspicious. And he writes, I mean, yeah, eventually I'm going to say something, but I kind of hate forcing myself into solitude because people on the internet assume the worst in people and will make up legit anything out of nothing. So
What do you
eventually I'll say
mean?
something when I'm
What
ready.
does he mean by that, bro? What do you mean assume the worst in people, bro? I'm over here reading this shit and it's pissing me off, bro, cause no. You over here hiding shit, bro, and you are involved, bro, cause you over here, you're not saying anything about what's going on. You're not saying anything about your friend. You're deleting shit, and you deleting pictures with Celeste, with you and Celeste. So it's like you knew her already. So it's like you're protecting him, and you are. So we should be pissed off at you too. You should get arrested as well, cause you're hiding evidence, mate. That's
Love all the
that
real
simple.
people that have been kind to me and don't make false assumptions. Bro, it's not really hard to explain. Hey, bruh, I was with David. He was hanging out with this chick. They did have an intimate relationship. David is a pedophile, right? Like David is R. Kelly Jr. Lock him up. It's not really hard, bro. You should be on the right side of things, especially in this time when you know David about to get arrested. You know. Rather it takes 5, 10, 20, 30, because there's no statute of limitations on murder, buddy. You know things is crumbling down. Turn on this man and say everything you know. Because I'm sure
You should just
somebody who
come out
was
and say,
around
hey, bro,
Celeste and
hey,
David, I'm sure you know when
yeah,
Celeste
he
passed away.
did
I'm
one,
sure you
two,
know
and
how
three,
Celeste
bro. I
passed
was
away.
there.
I'm sure you know why Celeste was put in that trunk.
He
Because
told me
David will
about it,
have to
one,
explain
two,
to
and
you guys
three,
why
bro.
Celeste ain't showing up no
Hey,
more and
I,
why she's
I don't
missing.
want to
And
get
if
into
you're
trouble. I
looking at the
want to do one, two,
possibility
three.
that somebody is trying
I'll
to
be a
dispose of
witness.
a body,
I'll confess.
and
I'll
you
help.
search the residence of a person of
Nigga,
interest
that's
in
the
that
best
case and
thing
you
he could have
find what
did,
is
nigga.
essentially a home crematorium,
But he over here
why don't
protecting
you
a fucking
take
piece of
that?
shit human
I
being.
know that
So
when you're serving a search warrant, you can
you should
only
go down with him.
seize the things that the court authorized you to seize and that you told the court you expected to find there. I'm sure nobody expected to find this item there. But what you do in a search warrant when you find something evidentiary that was unexpected is you write what's called a piggyback warrant. It's a simple addendum where you say, hey, judge, while serving that search warrant that you issued, we found this other thing. We think it's evidence. We'd like to seize that too. It's a typical one-page addendum that's tacked onto your warrant. I've never seen a judge not sign one of those, and I don't know why that wasn't done in this case.
Because LAPD are incompetent nincompoops. If you guys believe this David case is going to get solved anytime soon, good luck. I'm done being optimistic about this.
It's not gonna
I
get
think
solved anytime
LAPD has
soon, mate.
butchered this investigation at every turn. But y'all let me
Yeah,
know in
they
the comment
have,
section,
bro.
what do you guys think? Um, well, I think we all know for a fact at this point that David is very sus. He's very suspicious. But I don't know, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section. What do you guys think about the job that LAPD is doing? And if you're still watching this video and want to watch another good video, then click on this video right here to find out why I can't believe that.
Hey, bro, that's a good video, bro. Hey, bro, y'all let me know in the comments if y'all what y'all think about this situation. If you even got this far in this video, but yeah, bro. I don't think it's gonna get solved, bro. I just think it's gonna drag and drag and drag and drag, and more shit is gonna, bro. It's sad, honestly, but I don't really think it's gonna get solved, bro. I think this thing is gonna get away with it, but I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. And yeah, bro, I hope it doesn't. But hey, still in the video, bro. DX really do it. You know what I'm saying, bro? Hey, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share, and fuck with your boy. Thank y'all for watching, bro. It's your boy X, and I'm out.